here on the Game of Life Mentoring Podcast with Matt Haggman, Big Brother, talking about an incredible story that gets even bigger. Because not only did he play ball at Armbruster Park, not only did he succeed there, not only did he succeed at Columbus. Did they get a state championship at Columbus? I know they were good.
Always very close. Always
very
good.
I know it was always
yeah.
so succeeded athletically
huge
at
success.
Columbus.
Huge success.
And so he's a household name at Columbus. Makes the big decision to not stay home in Miami, but to go to the University of Alabama. And to be there, to fly to Tuscaloosa and interview him on the football field. Remember that when I flew up there?
I do remember that.
And it also at Armbruster Park when he had the jersey from the
I remember
Coconut
that.
Grove
That was
Knight
really
Riders.
special.
That was special.
Yeah.
But the reason we had the Armbruster Park interview and the reason I went to Tuscaloosa is because this young man was succeeding on the field, but we got to hit the pause button because there's something called the draft. We're going to talk about the draft and a few games that people may hear about. But you go to college for one primary reason, and that's to get a degree. Tell us about your little brother.
So Josh is a college graduate.
How about that?
Yeah. And I was there for it and very proud. And Lily Parkins was there as well.
Beautiful.
And Reggie Donaldson, Josh's dad. In fact, Reggie and I flew together, and which is very special, going to Tuscaloosa together. And then they're watching Josh graduate. And, one of the amazing things, Josh, about what an extraordinary human being he is that we were actually waiting to walk in. I can't remember the name, the basketball arena at Alabama is where the graduation was. And we're waiting to walk in. They haven't opened the doors yet. And this woman walks up. And I'm standing there and Reggie, and she introduced herself to Reggie and then to me. And she says, I just want to tell you that, I work in the athletic department and particularly with the football program. And it's been such a pleasure to work with Josh.
That's special.
And so here he had made an impression on somebody, whereas we're just sort of hanging out waiting to walk into the graduation, she felt compelled to walk over and to say what a pleasure it had been to work with Josh.
Says a lot about that young man's character.
It really does.
Matt.
It really
and you
does.
think about it, again, Barbara stepping in, the dad involved, Reggie involved and supportive, but this family, and one of my favorite pictures when we think about family, and how even Saban give from a coaching standpoint, but more importantly the mentorship standpoint. One of my favorite photos, Coach Nick Saban hugging Josh with his cap and gown on.
Yeah.
Promise
really
made,
special.
promise fulfilled.
100%.
That is a very, very special picture. But now let's go back to football. Can we talk?
Sure.
Can we talk football?
Let's talk football.
Matt, we talked and we said, you know what, this young man's gone. He's projected to go pretty high in the draft.
Yeah.
So what was the initial, or what was the projection for Josh?
Well, initially,
initially,
you were thinking like a second and third round pick.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. He had, Patrick Surtain on the other side, who was going to be a high first round pick.
He's pretty good,
and
too.
so he's pretty good. He's pretty good. And, the thinking was Josh, second or third rounder.
Yeah.
As it happened in his senior year, he got injured and was playing through an injury.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it got to be too much. And he actually couldn't play. He won a national championship.
Where did he win that national championship?
And here in Miami.
Right here in Miami at home.
Yes,
Another
sir.
beautiful picture of him.
Another beautiful. Remember that?
Oh,
yeah,
man.
the best.
Oh, man.
The best.
He's got one with the trophy. I think he's with his siblings he was
Yes.
with in the stands.
Yes.
Incredible.
No, just
send me that picture.
Yeah, I will.
I
sure
remember
will.
I had it, but I couldn't find. That is incredible. Yeah. So hometown kid.
Hometown kid wins a national championship in his hometown.
Come on.
And so then in his senior year,
Yes.
in his final year, he gets injured. Right? He has this toe injury, needs surgery, actually misses the final game of the year.
I remember that.
And then gets ready then to prepare for the draft. And it was hard.
Yeah.
Right? It was hard because he couldn't actually, he went to the combine in Indianapolis and he couldn't work out. He couldn't do the 40, right? Couldn't do the shuttle runs or the different drills they have you do. And so, that was suddenly that felt like, it was difficult. You're not part of it with the others.
Yeah, and slowly this draft stock, let's be real, the draft stock begins to lower, and lower because, again, teams are like,
And you're learning the process too.
No doubt about it. It's relationships, but it's also like, what are the risks?
Like, to be totally real, Gale, I remember Josh during the process, he called me one time, and or I called him, I can't remember, and he said, man, the Colts called me again. He said, I already spoke to them. It's like, no, Josh, that's a good thing they want to talk to you again.
It's called a follow-up interview.
This is good. This is good.
Yes.
So it was hard.
Yeah.
And then one thing leads to another. Of course, we have the Thursday night, the big night for the draft. Didn't expect him to go in the first round that night.
Right.
But then we have day 2, the Friday, and he wasn't selected.
We had camera crews ready. Remember that?
Save that tape. Save that tape.
No doubt about it. So when we think about Tuscaloosa, the path to the draft from Armbruster Park, that was version 1 that we recorded. Then I went to Tuscaloosa, version 2 from Alabama. And come draft day, talk to us about that.
So now we're at day 3.
Yes.
And we're actually, so a friend of Josh's at the time, well, his girlfriend at the time, her dad had a place down in the Keys. And so on a Saturday, we were going to watch day 3 of the draft in the Keys. And you know how Mel Kiper has his best available?
Absolutely.
Right? And so there on the screen, Mel Kiper's best available. Second one was Josh Jobe. Right? Josh Jobe, cornerback, Alabama. And so we start the day with that, thinking, okay, when's the call going to come? Here, day 3. And we start going through the day. One round, the next. We finally get to the last round. And I think, gosh, we're going to get a call here. And then the final pick is announced. Josh has fallen out of the draft. He wasn't picked. And I remember then we actually got on the phone with his agent, Ben Setas, who did an amazing job. And Ben said, okay, we have 2 options. The Ravens will give Josh, they'll bring him into camp. How much of an opportunity he'll get is really unclear. But the Eagles, they'll give him a shot. And my memory was that they even declared at the outset, look, we're going to bring 6 guys in for 1 spot. But they said, we promise we'll give him an opportunity. And one of Josh's old coaches, Joe Panunzio, who had been in Alabama, was now an assistant with the Eagles. And had been telling the Eagles, hey, look, this kid's good. And so he's a player, he's a gamer, and so they brought him in. So Josh got healed up, got the toe all squared away, and then went to camp. And you know, from day 1, it was interesting. Like, he embraced that challenge. I remember talking to Ben, his agent, after the first day of training camp, and saying that the coaches had called him and saying, hey, your guy is come to play. So he made an impression right away. And then very quickly, as we're moving through the preseason, start thinking, you know what, Josh may make the team.
I remember texting you, man, like, our boy's doing well. He's looking at these preseason games. I'm like, he could. I kept watching, as they cut it down the roster from the 90 to then that 46. They came down to final cuts. You remember that?
Came down, I do, and he came down to final cuts, and he had made it.
Made the team.
Josh, the gamer, once again, rose to the challenge. Man, right? You know how it found its way to him not being drafted and going as undrafted free agent. All of that, you know, things happen in life.
Just another hurdle.
But now presented with this challenge, he rose to the challenge, and so he was playing special teams that first year. And then and in fact, what we know with the Eagles, he goes to the Super Bowl.
Wait a minute, let's pause for a minute. Let's pause for a minute now, because you're getting me too excited now, Matt. Here in the Game of Life Mentoring Podcast with incredible big brother Matt Haggman, Josh Jobe advances, makes it to the Super Bowl against that team in red. Quarterback's pretty decent.
His quarterback named
Mahomes, last name Mahomes. I forget his first name, but quarterback Mahomes, and I remember. You did the video. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And he started on special teams in that game.
He started on special teams in that game.
Come on.
And the Eagles
My goodness.
the first half ended and thought, wow.
Yeah, they had the lead, I think, at the end of the first half.
Indeed. looking really good.
Yeah.
And thought, this is it.
This may be it.
But hey, that guy Mahomes, guys, he's, life took its course that day.
It did.
And of course, the Kansas City Chiefs won. And so then Josh came back for year 2 with the Eagles.
Yes.
And then again was playing special teams. But the cornerback room started getting pretty crowded.
Yeah.
Right? Bringing in other players, drafting other players, all of that. And one thing leads to another. And so after season 2, he's cut. So what to do? And again, I really do credit his agent at the time, Ben Setis, who Ben was like, I remember talking to Ben on the phone, and Ben was looking around at other places Josh could go. He said, Seattle, their cornerback room isn't too crowded. Mm-hmm. If Josh signs with them, he has to go on the practice squad initially. But, there's probably going to be an injury. This is football. Injuries will happen.
That's right.
And so, then he'll have an opportunity. And so I said, all right, well, let's see what Josh decides. And so he put the decision to Josh, and Josh said, okay, let's go to Seattle. The gamer.
The gamer.
And so he went to Seattle, and the first half of the year was on the practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
But then an injury happened.
I remember.
And he got out on the field. He was on the active roster.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, not easy being on the practice squad. And I remember at the time having conversations with him, and I remember having conversations with Ben as we were talking about it. It's like, hey, stay locked in. At every meeting, you're there locked in like you're playing that Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And because that opportunity will come. And he did that.
Absolutely.
He did that. And so he got his opportunity. And it was interesting. In Seattle, for whatever reason, I remember the moment he took the field, he just looked more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why or what, but he just looked so comfortable. And he played really well. He had an interception.
I remember that.
And he finished out the season where the Seattle Seahawks said, we want to have you back. And so he re-signed, and so enters year 4 as a Seattle Seahawk, now having, this is not like year 1 with the Eagles where he's got to go into training camp and try and earn a spot. He's signed. He can really focus on his preparation to start the year, knowing, nothing's ever guaranteed in the NFL, but knowing that they're planning on having him playing.
Yes.
Special teams is really important, and he was a great special teams player with the Eagles, but now also playing as cornerback with the defense.
And that's back to, that's the spot.
That's the spot.
Saban was a defensive coordinator throughout his career.
And the cornerbacks coach.
Exactly. That's where I was going.
He coached Josh straight away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he knows. You think about the Pat Surtains of the world and the Trayvon Diggs of the world that all played at Alabama. That's Saban's. They came out of the Saban camp. So now Josh is in his prime position.
He's in his prime position, and he's playing well.
Yes.
And the Seattle Seahawks defense is playing well.
Incredible.
And then one thing leads to another, and he's the first cornerback on the field. He's the nickel.
Yes.
And then you start to see him starting.
That's right.
And then this defense actually is coming together as one of those really great NFL defenses. And Seattle's had some great ones through the years, Legions of Boom and all that. And
absolutely.
Stuff. And this here was, now they were playing really well. One thing leads to another. Here he is, year 4 in the NFL.
Year 4.
He's playing in his second Super Bowl.
Wait a minute now. From Washington Avenue to his second Super Bowl.
Washington Avenue, Armbruster Park.
Park.
And that whole journey with the Knight Riders. I remember when he played in the played in the Pop Warner Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
And Walt Disney World and all of that. And here he is playing in the Super Bowl.
My goodness.
And he played the entire game.
Matt, that's right. Starting in the Super Bowl.
Undrafted. And here he was starting in the Super Bowl.
There's another dig. Speaking of Diggs, Stefon Diggs.
We're
going to go into too much detail, but Stefon Diggs is on the other side.
He's on the other side.
All-pro receiver.
And Josh shut him down. By the way, I'm from Boston, but of course I was rooting for Josh.
Oh, there you go, because they played that team from Boston.
Yeah, they did. They played that
Patriots,
team from
right?
Boston. The Patriots. The Patriots.
And two incredible teams that nobody picked either team to be in the Super Bowl. But long story short, Matt, your little brother, our little brother, this young man from Coconut Grove represented the 305 well.
Oh, I mean, well, Gale, he played when the lights were brightest.
That's right.
When the stage was biggest.
Come on.
Right? When more people were watching, and more than any other sporting event, certainly that's here.
That's right.
Josh played his very best game.
That's right.
It was literally the best game he had ever played, whether it was let's go all the way back.
That's right.
But from the Coconut Grove Knight Riders to playing, for Columbus, for Alabama, for the Philadelphia Eagles, and now the Seattle Seahawks, his very best game was starting and playing in the Super Bowl. And man, did he deliver. And he brought everything. And he was central and a key player in winning the Super Bowl.
So now, little brother, the journey that began when he was 9 years old, college graduate, soon to be dad.
Soon to be dad. Soon to be dad. As we sit here right now, about a week away.
A week away from being a dad.
Yeah.
Gainfully employed, safe to say.
Gainfully employed, yes.
Gainfully employed. So as we wrap up, Matt, and as I think about that picture of Josh and the confetti, the picture
those are
I'm
special.
about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Barbara Williams. I'm going to take it back to the beginning as we close.
May she rest in peace, yeah.
May Barbara Williams rest in peace, who trusted us. Thank you, and Danette. I mean, you were like that journalist coming to this beautiful city that we call Miami, we love. And you got involved. So the trust of a parent, the interest of someone who wants to give back to someone from the community that you lived in. And Josh didn't need to be fixed.
No.
And Matt Haggman, as much as I love you, you're not perfect, but you were present. You were present. That's and you're still present in his life.
Yeah.
The presence of a big. Not the perfection of a mentor, but the presence. And so as we wrap up, Matt, for that parent, maybe that prospective big, that donor, you said it best, the stage wasn't too big for Joshua Jobe. Why is big brothers, big sisters so important from your vantage point?
Well, number one, I mean, honestly, I think I've gained more from this than Josh has, right? But for sure, that there are so many young men and women across our community who are just looking for an opportunity, who are looking for someone to take an interest in their lives, who are looking for someone who's there and present, who, by the way, and folks who have, wonderful families, who have wonderful moms and dads too.
Yes.
Right? Have amazing aunts and uncles and all of that, but still having that person who, every other week will come by and say, hey, how you doing? Let's go see a movie. Let's go play catch. Let's shoot some baskets. That's such an important, a vital part of growing up and those sorts of friendships. And so the opportunity to be part of a young person's life like that is extraordinary. But I would also say, and honestly, selfishly, even bigger, is that as someone who can be part of that as a mentor, honestly, in the role of mentor, the learning and what you gain, I wonder, is even greater than what you're offering the mentee, right? I mean, the lessons that I've been able to learn from watching Josh's his growth, right, as a 9-year-old to now he's 27, right, and will be a husband soon, and is going to be a dad, and has built this extraordinary career, and is a college graduate. To me, the lessons there in resilience, right, in rising to the challenge and not shrinking from a challenge, right, and when things, and understanding life is not a straight line, right? There are going to be setbacks. There are going to be frustrations. There are going to be moments when things don't work out as you hope. There are going to be moments when you're not, the best that you hope you can be.
Absolutely.
Right? But, sort of like those two amazing words in the English language, keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going, right? And Josh, his ability to keep going, the resilience he's shown again and again, and when you find yourself just in a moment for whatever reason, the challenge, things get hard, but to still believe and to still bring your very best and to bring that focus and that determination and that will, I'm the beneficiary of being able to see that in real time. And now he's a Super Bowl champion.
Well, Matt, thank you for being a big part of our life and our team here at Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami. Your interest, and I love the R's because here we go. You the reciprocity of mentorship that you talked about.
Yeah.
You said, I think I've gotten more out of it than
for
my
sure.
little. We hear
Without
that
a
all
doubt.
the time.
Dude,
so there's reciprocity.
Yes.
The reward of hard work for hard work.
Yes, sir.
College degrees, Super Bowl championship, exposure on the biggest stage, the resilience our kids have. The resilience our kids have.
Totally.
But as we close out this recording,
I love it, the R's.
it's so important that folks recognize the need to invest their time,
100%.
their talent, their treasure, because our kids are going to pay us back. So thank
Big
you,
time.
my dear friend.
And Gale, thank you for your friendship and for your extraordinary leadership. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to serve. Ladies and gentlemen, just to sit and listen to Matt Haggman, I tell you what, we got to do it again.
Let's do it again.
As we think about the gift of mentorship, the power of our community. In this Game of Life Mentoring podcast, we talk all the time about you, our community, the 305. So Matt Haggman, Danette, his beautiful wife, to Josh Jobe, thank you, little bro, for showing us what a true gamer is all about. And so if you're interested in getting involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami, reach out to us, bbsmiami.org. That's bbsmiami.org or 305-644-0066. Because in the game of life, everybody makes the team, but how you play, just like Josh Jobe, is up to you. Let's go. Hey, this is Gale Nelson, President and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami, the host of The Game of Life.